Like your overalls.
Thank you. I'm copying you. And your overalls, which you haven't worn. We should have worn them together.
No, it's too hot. It's too hot in the summer. I don't really want to be drenched in sweat halfway through the podcast, you know?
But you love your overalls.
I do.
They're like who you are.
Huh?
They're who you are.
Yeah. If you don't have a personality, just get some overalls. People will think you're interesting just because you look strange.
That's true. They're like, whoa, look at this guy. He's bold.
Yeah.
He likes to be a part of nature.
Yeah, I've never seen a country Asian before.
He's chill. If you went on Big Brother, you wouldn't be the first country Asian to go on Big Brother.
That's true. Shout out Josh.
James.
Shout out James.
Oh my God.
Shout out James.
He's one of your favorite people and you don't even know.
He's not one of my favorite people.
He's one of your favorite Big
It's not
Brother
even
players.
Close. It's not even the top 10 of my favorite people.
But favorite Big Brother
right?
players.
My top 10 favorite people are all you.
Aww. It's nice.
Also, I was having a weird issue with the overalls because I would walk our dog early in the morning, and I don't really like to wear much clothes, so I just throw on overalls. It's nice to have an outfit that you can slither into in the morning.
Yeah. You don't need anything else.
Yeah, there's this one time, literally 4 days ago, where I was walking our dog and I noticed all these nice old Korean ladies. They were waving at me, and that's never happened before. And I was like, wow, this is nice. Everyone's being so nice today. And then later on, I kind of realized, I think they think I'm special.
Oh, because your overalls.
Yeah, I mean, I was wearing overalls and Crocs.
Oh.
Double whammy.
That's not a good combo.
It doesn't help that I was saying HOTTOGO the whole time.
Yeah.
They're probably like, oh my God, he knows his letters.
And you're wearing your I Like Trains button.
Yeah, I was playing with a yo-yo.
Oh, look at this sick trick.
Yeah. I just did a bridge. And the old ladies were just like, wow, you know what? I'm glad he has a friend. I didn't even know they were letting them have dogs.
Nice.
Welcome back to Sooki Sooki.
The world's first Big Brother sports podcast.
With your lovely and gracious host, Adouria, and
Tian.
her sidekick, me.
You're not the sidekick.
That's how I feel, at least.
We're equals in this endeavor.
Yeah, but it's hard to think that when you have such a domineering presence, and I'm just kind of the sideshow clown. Dance, monkey, dance.
You just told a whole story about how people think you're special because you wear overalls and Crocs. You're the main character, baby.
No, baby, you're the main character. It's your world. I'm just living in it. I just rent it. And I'm okay being I think for all the guys out there who feel okay with being a side character, don't be afraid to tell people that. Everyone needs a good Bill Hader and Forgetting Sarah Marshall, you know?
He was in that?
Yeah. Every main character needs a friend who says, "What? No, don't do that." And then they do it anyway.
He was in that?
Yeah, he was the best friend of Jason Segel, who I think is probably one of the ugliest people.
Yeah, you really cannot look at him in anything.
Yeah, I just good for him.
What? What do you mean good for him?
I don't know. I don't want to be mean.
It's too late.
And also, we have so much to talk about.
We do. This was a week.
This was a week in the Big Brother house.
So when we left off, Kenny went home finally. And then we headed into the HOH competition.
Yes, which was Ainsley's mirror.
Ooh, spooky. Yeah, I mean, this week it was a 50-50 chance that we knew Quinn was probably going to end up using his power, depending on who won. If it was somebody, one of the, 14 people that he's working with in the house that wins, or Angela or Tucker,
Yeah, and I think he was really hoping not to use it so he can, keep true to his word.
Yeah.
But so Ainsley mirror happens. Ainsley's some. You
You could do it. You got it.
So Ainsley's mirror happens, and it was a guessing game. You know, it was a you know, they provide you with 3 different photoshopped AI pictures, and then you had to identify the one that had something wrong with it. You know, hey mom, stop.
Sorry, I'm just trying to fix it.
Mom,
My bad.
everyone's looking at me now. Oh.
Had to do it to you.
Yeah, so it wasn't, you know, that interesting of a competition. It was basically just it's like one of those, you know, fold out leaflets you get in a book.
Yeah.
In like a scholastic book.
Yeah.
And it was a mental comp, and you know who's the most mental of them all?
Our girl Angela. So of course she pulled out a win. Of course, there's nothing she's better at than mental comps and shuffleboard.
Yeah, her two. I mean, she lucked out. Her 2 favorite things: puzzles and shuffleboard.
Yeah. So Angela wins. I don't know why she's celebrating, because she's obviously not working with Quinn and has threatened his game. So if I'm her, I immediately know he's probably going to use it. But this week was basically just like who gets immunity from Quinn.
Yeah. And, you know, I think she was going into it with a little bit of wishful thinking. You know, maybe Quinn won't use it, you know, if the nominee
I think she really did believe, because they had a conversation in the HOH room that we saw right before she was like, tell me everybody that you don't want up. I think she genuinely thought he wasn't going to use it, that he was joking when he said, yeah, I'm not going to use it.
Yeah.
She's stupid.
Or naive. Or maybe there's stuff that happens behind cameras. We don't know. But for whatever reason, she ends up... Well, she actually never declares who she wants to nominate, does she?
No.
But she, like, tossed around a couple ideas. She tossed around Brooklyn.
Well, yeah, because she kept picking her in the HOH comp, so it was pretty obvious that she doesn't really trust Brooklyn, which, I mean, like, why are you picking out Brooklyn out of everybody? Like, I just feel like she's got so many people that she doesn't trust, you know?
Yeah, it kind of feels like she just created beef where there wasn't beef.
The only person that she can really trust is probably Tucker-ish, you know, because it's like Tucker just saved you for his own personal benefit, you know?
Yeah, but she's taking it as an altruistic thing. I think she's just very, like, swept up in the narrative of everything. You know, she seems like the type of girl who, when she was a kid, she read a lot of, you know, like, young adult
Wattpad
novels.
stories. Because obviously they had
What is
Wattpad. And you know what Wattpad is.
I have no idea.
Don't act like you don't know.
I really don't know what Wattpad is.
Me neither. I also don't know what Wattpad is.
What's Wattpad?
Wattpad is where...
Hey, shout out to Wattpad for sponsoring this video.
Let me tell you about Wattpad. Wattpad is where little gross, horny teenagers like myself, I used to be,
And still are.
and still are.
Yeah.
They can write like stories and stuff and publish them, and you can read them.
Like porno stories?
No, kind of. Yeah. No, but it was like there's a whole thing involved, you know, like for me, I read a lot of like enemies to lovers. Like I read a lot of like the big CEO and like his grandpa's going to take away his inheritance if he doesn't get married right away. So he finds some random girl and he has an arranged marriage and he's like, listen, this is just a business decision. You don't have access to anything in my life. You just do your part and I'll do mine. And then they slowly fall in love. But it's complicated because he's just like this bachelor, so he has to correct all of these habits. And then there's probably danger because he's got money, so somebody's trying to kill her to get to him. But then he's like, no, you don't know. This is just a business decision. And she's like, oh my God, you don't really love me, hey? And then he's like, no, wait, you are the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And then they fall in love.
It sounds like I need to get on Wattpad, dude. These are high production value pornos.
Wattpad is the reason I'm fucked up.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense why you're dating a billionaire's son now.
Yeah.
But we were never enemies.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it was more like caretaker to lover.
I'm caretaker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's definitely a little bit naive. She lives in her own world a little bit. Angela, not her. I'm talking about Angela.
Sometimes I do live in like the Wattpad world. Okay, moving on from Wattpad. Yeah, we don't really have a chance to see Angela strategize that much about who she's gonna put up, which I think is fair of production to like cut out those conversations if there were any, just because we already knew the second she won that it was going to be Quinn taking over with this deep fake HOH.
Which is like, let me have like just a quick 5 minutes to just rib on this fucking power. It's so dumb. I mean, the power is good.
Yeah, the power itself is insane. Like,
it's very good.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful and game-changing power. However, it's the execution of like the dramatics and the theatrics. It's so stupid, man. It's so dumb. Because the whole point of this is like, oh, you're supposed to sow distrust amongst the house guests because they won't know who's making the nomination.
Well, everybody at this point knows.
Not only that, Quinn announced right after.
Yeah, Quinn was basically like,
yeah.
Well, let's get there. So Quinn does his deepfake HOH. He can't nominate.
Prior to that, Angela has conversations with a couple of house guests. And, well, not a couple. Mainly just Brooklyn. So we just talked about that. She has a conversation with Brooklyn, which Brooklyn also kind of overreacts to the situation because she was like, why are you singling me out, this and that?
Yeah, but also, like, after Brooklyn went up, she picked Angela right after. Yeah. So it was like a tit for tat thing, like an eye for an eye.
That's exactly what I was saying. And also, it's like they're playing a game and, you know, they're not on the same team. So
yeah, and also everybody knows like this game is all about getting the people that you want out, which is why you pick certain, like if you go up, then you're going to pick like Tucker, you know, because you don't want Tucker to win. So I think, I don't know, people get really butthurt, but it's just like whoever you don't have relational equity with is probably going to pick you because they don't know where you stand. Just get over it, you know.
And she cried, and Angela tried to cry.
Angela fake cried, and then as soon as Brooklyn left, looked at the cameras and went like this. I can't cry.
First of all, Angela is leading in both number of blow-ups and number of cries right now.
Of course.
If you look at the graphic next to us, she is kind of crushing in those categories. She's tied with Tucker in number of blow-ups.
Oh, but she is?
No one is fucking touching her.
In cries. How many cries does she have?
She's a cry leader. She has 9 cries.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 19.
No, she has 9 cries.
That's still pretty crazy.
Yeah, she has 9 cries, and somehow she couldn't cry for this situation.
And honestly, and that's only the cries that we have seen.
Yeah,
this does not include any cries that have happened on the live feeds.
Yeah, she has a lot of off-camera cries, too.
She probably does.
So her cry percentage is through the roof right now.
Yeah.
She's absolutely like one of the goated criers.
In Big Brother history.
In Big Brother history,
She could get up there. She could be up there with like
Vanessa.
Actually,
she's not scratching Amber, though.
Oh, well, nobody's going to scratch Amber. That girl
Amber really is the goat.
She never stopped crying.
Yeah. She had a hormonal imbalance, I'm pretty sure.
I think she just like is, I don't know. I don't even know if it's a hormonal imbalance.
There was that one moment when she was crying and she's like, I don't even know why I'm crying and I don't know how to stop.
I think that's just who she is. We get to the deep fake HOH. There's a fake AI thing that looks like Angela.
It is not realistic.
It looks realistic, but as soon as it starts to talk or move, it's so janky.
Yeah, it's like, oh, for this week's nominee, I'm gonna put up Quinn.
Yeah. So obviously he can't nominate Angela because she's safe with the HOH.
Yeah.
So he's thinking Tucker, obviously. He does bounce around Rubina because she's closely aligned. And then He's just really trying to come up with people who he thinks have the best chance in beating Tucker in the other competitions, because Tucker is a comp beast, as we've seen. So he picks Mackenzie, and he picks
Cedric.
Cedric volunteers himself.
Cedric volunteers himself because Quinn, like we said, he was trying to find people who can, at least have a shot against Tucker.
Yeah, and I mean, when you do that, you're looking at like, okay, who else has won a competition in here? The options are not great. I mean, Tucker is just blowing everybody out the water with his competition wins.
At this point in the season, he's won 4 out of 12 challenges.
Is it 4 before he wins the veto?
Yeah. Well, no, that is 3.
Yeah.
He's won 3 out of 12
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 out of 12 comps. That's 4 HOH, 4 vetoes, and 4 AIs, and he's won 3 out of those 12. So he's won 25% of all competitions.
That's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and it is kind of crazy how quickly I did that math.
He's kind of Janelle. He just like doesn't know how to lose.
Yeah, and he made himself a huge target, and he's just surviving completely off his own prowess. Let me tell you, I was not high on this lad, and with every passing week, he claws his way into my heart.
It's just crazy because it's like he will always have at least one additional opportunity to take himself off as long as the AI comp is in effect. Mm-hmm. Until that's no longer an option, he can't be truly backdoored.
I do wonder if eventually this season they'll get rid of it.
They'll have to cut it out, I think, when they get down to a certain number of people and there's just not enough people.
Yeah.
Probably like a couple weeks after jury starts, I'm guessing. So probably soon-ish.
I really hope so, because I do think like it is exciting for the beginning of the game, but then at a certain point you do want it to be kind of just good old Big Brother, people building relationships and snaking each other rather than just,
It's very interesting, I think, because Big Brother's been around for so long that like what we're watching right now is everybody is playing Big Brother the way that it's supposed to be played, and nobody's mad at each other for doing it, and they're all just being so honest. Like Tucker's like, you're the best player right now, I'm gonna come after you, and Quinn's like, I'm gonna come after you too, and they're all working with basically everybody, kind of.
Yeah.
So nobody's getting mad at anybody for working with everybody because everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's refreshing, I think, to see people not take it so personally.
Yeah.
And I think Angela set an early tone. I think she was kind of the reason why.
By screaming, "This is Big Brother" a million times, everybody's like, "Oh, this is Big Brother."
When she called out the entire house, she kind of broke down the barriers a little bit.
She broke the ice in the house immediately because she just like blew up on everybody. So everybody was like, "Oh, all right, this is how it's gonna be, I guess."
Yeah, and it kind of already put like, I don't know how to phrase this exactly, but it kind of put it in people's heads that like, this is early season Big Brother, and you really shouldn't trust anybody.
Yeah, and I also think, like, we'll get there, but, like, people are just so aware that they're playing Big Brother, and I think everybody, part of them is like, okay, it's time to not be scared. It's time to make moves, even though it is so early. Tucker and Quinn have this conversation. I think it's on the live feeds where Tucker's like, I'm literally just being a character.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to give people a good show, which makes me like him a little bit more.
And he is, man.
But
tell you what,
I'm ready for Tucker to leave.
You stay rooting for your ponies to go home.
I don't like, the only pony that I have that I like is Chelsea. I don't even like Cam anymore.
Yeah, you have a lot of big mouths.
I just have a bunch of dumb dummies.
Yeah. And later we'll pull up a little leaderboard on our ponies so you guys can stay updated. So the deepfake HOA noms happen, and no one's surprised, and it ends up being Tucker, Mackenzie, and Cedric. And again, Cedric offered.
Yeah.
I want you to remember that.
Remember that for later.
Yeah. Remember that he offered himself up.
He offered with the thinking that he has the numbers, which is what we also think at this point in time.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
So we head into the veto competition.
Well, did you want to talk about how Quinn does that stupid spiel after where he's like, okay, why did I nominate these people? Well, basically because I want Tucker to leave. Or you don't think it's necessary to mention that?
Well, you just did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, veto competition.
Veto competition, and the veto competition was... Oh, no. We have to talk about a couple more things before the veto competition. So, the collective... We talked about it last episode, but the collective has been kind of still working together in the background a little bit.
Yeah, like a makeshift.
And we mentioned last time that Chelsea had tried to bring in Brooklyn to the collective. And so they add Brooklyn. And Brooklyn to the collective brings up Rubina as a replacement nominee.
Yeah.
And so they start getting the idea that, you know, it's very likely that Tucker's going to remove himself from the block if he wins the veto.
Or should anybody, period, remove themselves from the
Right.
block? She is closely associated with him. She makes the most sense. It's one less vote for him. And their thinking is also like, maybe if they're in the AI comp together, he'll try to not win because of his feelings for Rubina. They should have put her up to begin with, I think, because had he have won the veto, he would have been most likely to use it on her, if not himself.
Yeah, that would have been the smart thing to do. It wouldn't have changed anything, to be honest. Because think about it. If Tucker and Rubina were on the block and Tucker wins the veto, he takes himself off, they would have put up Mackenzie. It would have been the same exact three fighting in the AI arena.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that had they put up Rubina next to him originally, there's a bigger chance that he uses the veto on Rubina, stays on the block.
Later in the podcast, we're going to be discussing alternate timelines because we're going to be talking about the most timeline shifting events this season, and this is definitely going to get brought up.
Yeah.
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 So they go into the veto competition, and what was the veto competition, Adouria?
I have to. Oh, okay. They had to walk. I don't even really know how to explain this. They had to walk on these paths, and they had to pick the right squares.
The binary bridge.
Oh yeah, it's called the binary bridge.
The binary bridge, and yeah, like Adouria said, they had to walk on these paths, and the paths. On every step of the way, there were two tiles, and you had to step on the right tile, and the pattern stayed consistent between the two people. So essentially, it was a memory game.
And whoever got the pattern right first wins. And they went through several rounds, so the pattern was constantly changing. So you couldn't. It's not like you could just watch and be like, "Oh, right, this is what the pattern's going to be."
You could watch the previous person, but let's say the other person was in front of you, you could just follow in their footsteps. Like the person you're directly competing against.
Yeah, you could, but then it's like if they win before you.
Yeah, but you know, let's say they got to like the second before last block and they didn't know what was next, then you could really just take a guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the competition. It was pretty fun. It kept it was in theme finally.
Kind of. I don't know. They're just slapping AI Ainsley on everything, and they're like, "It's in theme, you guys. I swear."
It's technology because it lit up.
Yeah, it's technology.
Yeah. So I mean, right out the bat, Tucker's killing everybody. In the first round, if you got the best time, you got to skip all the way to the finals, and then the other person who joins him in the finals is Cedric. It couldn't have been a more perfect duel.
Yeah, because I mean, they went head to head kind of the week before. Tucker was like, "I'm coming for you."
It was literally, and the competition, when it wound down to the final moments, it literally was like a game of inches, because Cedric was slightly ahead, and then he fucks up, and he has to start from the beginning, and then Tucker came up with this brilliant mnemonic device where he was like, I'm just going to count how many in a row and remember which one I started on. Do you get it?
No.
You still don't get it?
No.
So let's say it's like 3 right in a row. He would just remember he started on the right, then it's 3. Then let's say it's 2 on the left side. He would go 2. So he remembered 3, 2, 3, 1, whatever it was.
How did he know it was going to be 3, 2, 3, 1?
No, I just mean when he like fucks up and has to repeat it. He can remember it perfectly.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just have to have like a special type of brain, I feel like. He might actually be a member of Gensa. Tucker is a part of Gensa.
He's actually a very, very smart guy.
He's kind of smart, yeah.
Yeah, he's a little smart. He's a little smarter than we gave him credit for.
So
Your pony's got a brain.
Tucker wins the veto.
Yeah.
And for a moment, he thinks about using it on Mackenzie because he wants to go head-to-head with Cedric.
Yeah.
And Angela's like, what? Huh? What?
Yeah.
Huh? No. What? Use it on yourself.
Yeah, but we were both stoked at this point because I was like, I want to. I mean, that's a dumbass move.
Yeah,
but
it is
that's
so stupid.
It's a stupid move, but
But if anybody's going to do it, it would be Tucker, of course.
yeah. At some point in the episode, Tucker forms a final 2 with Joseph.
Yeah, called the critics.
And this isn't really something that I bought into initially because I was like, okay, Joseph is just kind of placating him to, if he does win the veto, then that's another person who you're working with. If he doesn't win the veto, then he's gone. So there's no really repercussions to you making a final 2 with this fella.
Right.
But in retrospect, it was kind of like a turning point to me where you can kind of start to see the loyalties in the house start to shift. People are starting to realize that there's power in the underdogs of the house. It's okay.
Yeah, I think even though it's so early, people are starting to see their positions very clearly and who is at the top, who's safest, who nobody is looking at, who's probably playing the best game, who has the most power. Yeah. And people are being like, I'm not going to just sit here on the bottom and wait for them to like pick me up. I'm not going to sit on the bottom and wait for them to pick me off one by one,
Yeah, exactly. And also there's a lot of alliances that are just kind of openly acknowledged,
Yeah.
Which is like weird to me.
Everybody is aware of the alliances, which part of me is like, wait, do I kind of like this? That everybody's just like all of their dirty laundry is out in the open and like people.
No, because the really solid alliances are still hidden, And by that I just mean the visionaries.
Yeah, but are they really still? I mean, Quinn, I think. We're not there yet, so we don't know.
But I it's strange to me because I've always said in past seasons, once an alliance is named, it's dead,
Publicly, you mean?
Yeah, once it's named in the house.
Because that kind of, like, once it's named, it's also born.
Yeah. No, I just mean, like, once it's named and the rest of the house knows about it, the name. Like, they are all talking about the Pentagon. They know about the Pentagon. They know about the collective. People who are not in the collective know. And the whole point of an alliance is it's like the Illuminati. The power is in the secretiveness. So after the veto competition, we get to the veto ceremony.
Yeah. Tucker ultimately takes himself off, which is a smart move for him because if he doesn't, he's screwed. Angela, obviously in the background, is like, yes.
She's had so many orgasms in the house.
Yeah, no,
she's coming hard, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, she's come harder than she's come in 40, 80 years.
Probably ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's never come. She's so a lady who's never come.
Yeah, but
somebody needs to make her come.
She'll never admit that, probably. She'll be like, I come all the time. What are you talking about?
All right. I don't know. We should talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
We're filming on Sunday.
That's why things are off.
Yeah, Sunday is a weird
because normally we film on Saturday.
Yeah. Sunday is a strange day, man. I feel like all my facilities are at 30%.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
I've got the Sunday scaries.
So yeah, Tucker makes a smart decision, takes himself off. Boring. boring.
Yeah.
So according to the plan, Quinn puts up Rubina. Mm-hmm. So now it's Rubina, Mackenzie, and Cedric sitting on the block. And we head into eviction night very scared for Rubina's safety.
Yeah. Well,
she's one of my ponies, and I was worried that she was going to get prematurely turned into glue just because she found herself in a torrid affair with a young stallion.
Yeah. It's
who was hard to break.
It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet because he's my pony, and they should not be.
I know.
Fraternizing, but oh well.
They should not be fraternizing.
Yeah. So prior to the actual eviction, they're trying to figure out what they can do to save Rubina. Tucker is like, okay, the AI competition might be this, so start thinking about this, or it could also be like Tucker is like coaching the shit out of her. He's really like, you gotta get in the zone, man, because you can't leave.
Yeah. And one other thing about Tucker taking himself off is, it's good to see that he has his head in the game, because it would have been a real bummer if he like allowed his personal feelings towards Rubina get in the way of him just. He's writing a historical run right now.
Either way, I think he knew, like, no matter who he uses the veto on, even if he doesn't take himself off, Rubina is 100% going up as a replacement because of her association with him. Right. So there's no getting out of that. Mm-hmm. Even if he didn't take himself off, it would just be him sitting next to Rubina, and that's one less vote for both of them. Yeah.
So he starts coaching Rubina, and also at this point, I think Tucker has just won so many competitions that he's becoming impossible to ignore as somebody who you would want to work with, and I think maybe him winning this veto has kind of flipped the switch in a lot of people's minds. Hey, he's actually at a point of disadvantage right now. Now would be a good time to get in good with him.
Yeah.
And start, getting this comp beast on our side.
So something happens. A new alliance is born called the 5 Points, which has T-Core, Chemo, Rubina, Brooklyn, and Tucker.
Who suggests the 5 Points? Was it kind of just spontaneously suggested?
Kind of, I think. Definitely not Brooklyn, because Brooklyn ultimately sees herself
as a Pentagonist,
as loyal to the Collective / the Pentagon, which we'll see how we know that information. The sad thing about the 5 Points being formed is that Angela is literally got her ear to the door of the HOH room. Oh. She's listening to this get formed, or the door of whatever room this is. She's listening to this get formed, opens the door and goes, "Hi, can I just really be a part of this, please?"
Yeah, she even goes, "I'll be on the bottom."
And everybody freezes. Like, they're like, okay, if we don't move, she can't see us.
Yeah, they were treating her like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and it's really sad, and nobody says anything for what feels like a long time. Probably not that long in real life, but they just edited that way.
Yeah.
And then they're like, sure, what are we going to call this?
It was Tucker who said sure.
Well, Tucker probably feels like, oh, like, I did this. I took her off a block, and now she, like, loves me. Yeah. I can't get rid of her.
He was like, what the hell? Get in here.
Yeah. And then they name this now alliance, which is the 5 Points plus Angela.
Yeah.
The Tanks.
The Tanks.
It's not a real name. They were just literally
It's not a real alliance.
No, they were just like, well, yeah, it's the Tanks.
If we don't, they were probably thinking, if we don't let this bitch in, she's going to blow everything up.
You can't say no to somebody who overhears you forming, which I don't think has ever been done in Big Brother history, where somebody's overheard an alliance being formed and then gone, can I just please be a part of this? Please?
Oh, is it for me too?
May I have this, please? Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah, Angela told me, may I have this danced?
It was so uncomfortable to watch. Yeah. It was so... like embarrassing to watch. Nobody's done that I can think of in this game ever.
But maybe when you sacrifice self-respect Maybe that's the way to go in the Big Brother house.
Yeah, maybe.
Because so often we see motherfuckers get caught up in their ego and just get...
I would never do that.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I would never do that, but I probably would never win Big Brother. And Angela has made it way further than any of us anticipated.
That's true.
Yeah. She's kind of making herself a legend. She's like a leech, dude. She
is a leech. She's a leech. She's a leech. Okay, so they form this alliance,
you don't
and
love me anymore.
I don't. You have to talk about your girl Leah because I don't know. I don't remember seeing this part, but you said she did this. So
Right. So after the 5 points is formed, Leah is talking to Chemo and some other people. I can't remember who exactly. But she starts putting it in people's heads that this would be an opportune time to get rid of Cedric.
yeah, and take a shot at the power in the house.
Right. And as she's saying this, I think people are starting to do some numbers in their heads and realize, oh, wait.
We do have the numbers to get him
at
out.
At least have the numbers to tie this bitch, and Angela is going to probably vote our way. So Chemo kind of takes the onus on himself to start going around the house, talking to people that he's aligned with, namely T-Core, Joseph.
Chemo.
Well, Chemo's the one saying this.
Oh.
Yeah.
He talks to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is like, yeah, at the same time. And then in her diary room confession, she's like, I don't think we have the numbers for this. Ultimately, I'm loyal to the collective and the Pentagon.
Right. And she was probably feeling very safe and insulated at this point. And we were all feeling like, okay, like this could be interesting, but I don't see this happening.
No, I really did not think it was going to happen.
Yeah, because somebody could get cold feet, or the plan could get out, or
you never want to rock the boat in the event that you don't actually have the power to do what you thought you could, and it puts you in an immediately bad position. Like we saw with Mackenzie and Leah, them voting to save Matt was not good for them. Not good for their game. They ended up being fine, but they were always
definitely not good for their game.
Their names were always thrown out there as a possibility to go on the block, and you never want that.
Even though a lot has happened, it's still just week 4. So we were just like, okay, it's too early for this.
It's crazy that it's only week 4.
Yeah, it's crazy that this much has happened, and we were thinking it'd be crazy for this big of a game move to pop off.
Yeah, not that I think Cedric is really a threat to anybody, because I don't know, I just think he's not very aware of everything that's always going on in the game, obviously.
Well, spoiler alert.
But
you love to get ahead of yourself.
I do love to get ahead of myself. I just don't think he's obviously not their biggest threat. However, it does send a message to the other side, hey, we see you, and actually we're not okay being at the bottom.
Yeah,
come fuck with us.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was a very small chance that this was going to happen.
Yeah, well, because we already knew that Brooklyn was not going to vote with them, so it was hard to kind of calculate how many votes would be needed, because we weren't sure if Quinn got to vote, and then we found out he didn't get to vote, and then we were like, well, what if he breaks a tie? And then we were like, oh, when we found out he doesn't break the tie.
You love to get ahead of yourself.
Yeah. We didn't know how many votes.
The numbers were up in the air at this point.
Yeah,
the numbers were very up in the air, because also there was the added argument. I forgot who brought this up, but if Cedric was kept in the house, then he would be the one fighting it out with Tucker, and they would just kind of be respectively taking heat.
Yeah, but either way, Tucker is still in the house with Quinn. Quinn and Tucker are still gonna go back and forth.
So yeah, so all of these conversations happen, and it's sick to see Chemo start to do some cool shit. Twin, proud of you.
Yeah.
You stole the white girl's idea, and that's great, because the whites have been stealing from y'all for forever.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get some restitution,
Isn't it retribution?
Retribution means revenge. Restitution is revenge, but in a monetary form.
And justified.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we head into the AI arena now. Is there anything else we should touch on before this? I think that's everything, right?
Yeah, we get into.
By the way, we're killing it. We're doing the fucking discussion part so clean this week.
We are.
Yeah.
We're killing it for you.
Yeah.
We get to the AI comp. What's the competition?
The AI comp is upload, download. And it's just shuffleboard again, to be honest.
Yeah, it's basically shuffleboard. More shuffleboard.
Big Brother loves its shuffleboard, dude.
Yeah, this competition was very much like it's in anybody's hands because everybody, I think, was in the lead at some point.
Yeah, it's a tough comp. So the objective of the comp, just real quick.
Somebody's fapping.
I'm leaving that in if I can hear it. So the objective of the comp is that you're supposed to roll a ball up this slope and get it in this.
At the very top of the slope.
The top was it was covered in fabric, so it's easier for the ball to land there.
Yeah.
So you have to get all your balls, 6 balls, up into the top fabric part, and then you have to knock them down into the other side with another 6 balls. So the competition starts, and Mackenzie is doing really good.
Yeah, she's off to a very early lead, and then she quickly falls behind and is the last person.
Yeah. So again, it's a battle of boy Kenzie versus man Kenzie.
Yeah.
It's her versus herself in every comp. It's her beasting it and then her somehow fucking it up.
Fudge! So she quickly falls behind. Then it's between Cedric and Rubina. Then Mackenzie catches up. Then it's between Mackenzie and Rubina. And then they both buzz in, and we don't know who won, and then it's Mackenzie.
Mackenzie takes it by a hair. She takes it by a hair, and I was rooting for her. Because I feel like this girl has been done so dirty. And it's also kind of unreasonable because she has a lot to offer, you know? She has a lot to offer. She has no solid alliances.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to scoop that bitch up.
Nobody is picking her up, and
Yeah, so she has no
she's
true...
got no allies.
She's got no allies. She has Leah, but they haven't really, gotten any ground under them.
Yeah.
They have no power. So it was good to see her win something and continue being in the house because she was really had to fight tooth and nail for every day that she's been here.
She just wants to work with somebody. Nobody wants to work with her.
Tall girls have it hard, man. They're intimidating.
We are. I'm tall. I'm considered tall for a female.
I guess you're tall compared to me because I'm 4'11".
Yeah. Little guy.
Just waiting for the day those shin replacement surgery becomes actually good.
You could get height surgery now. They just break your legs and put a rod in there
Yeah, that's what I mean.
and make you tall.
But then you walk all weird like Lurch.
Yeah, but you're tall. So people like you.
That's true. No one likes me because I'm short.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we get to the AI comp. Mackenzie wins. It's now Cedric v. Rubina.
On the block. And now I was starting to feel like, all right, it's happening. It's fucking happening.
You were feeling like Cedric was going to go home?
Yeah, I was starting to feel...
I didn't start thinking that he was going to go home until I saw freaking Chemo crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was counting on my fingies. I was like, all right, we got... Oh, he's going home. He's going home.
I don't know. I was still not sure 100% about some of the people.
Yeah, I wasn't sure 100%, but I was like, at the very worst, they tie at that point.
I was still thinking Rubina was probably going to go home until I saw how T-Core was going to vote.
Think about it. We had Chemo. Mm-hmm. We had Tucker. Those were guaranteed.
I didn't know which way.
Quinn doesn't get to vote.
I know, but I didn't know which way Mackenzie would vote because she has no ties to either of them.
I assumed she would vote the way Leah voted. So Leah, that's 4. Mackenzie, that's 5.
I was not sure about T-Core.
And then Joseph, T-Core, and there was one other person.
Obviously, we knew Brooklyn was going to vote Rubina.
There was one other person. There was 9 people who voted for Cedric to leave.
Tucker, Mackenzie, Leah, Chemo, T-Core, Joseph.
That's not 9.
6 people, 6-3.
Oh, it's 6-3. So they would have needed 4 to tie. No, 5. They would have needed 5 votes to win.
Yeah.
And they already had 5 votes, guaranteed.
I just wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how the votes were going to fall. I thought people were going to chicken out.
Yeah, that was definitely a
Because that is what
possibility.
often happens.
But like you said, as soon as people started showing up in the voting room crying,
Yeah, I was like, they're getting rid of Cedric. Cedric's
Yeah.
going, they're crying because they feel bad.
And what a last hurrah for this young man. Everybody was so hurt about him leaving. Even Joseph cried, and I thought Joseph, like he's killed people before, so he's really, desensitized to this.
Yeah, he must really why was I holding it here? I don't know. He must really like Cedric.
Yeah.
Cedric's just like a nice little boy,
Yeah, he's probably like a really good energy to have in the house. Just, energetic and happy and, unbothered by adult trauma.
So he gets evicted 6-3, and everybody's shocked.
Everyone's crying. I low-key couldn't finish the episode because I was so floored.
Yeah.
I had to go in my room and like watch videos for like 10 minutes to decompress.
Poor Cedric.
Because he's one of my ponies. So if you look over here, this is our ponies. And we both have one pony that's been turned into glue.
Ooh.
Can you make a glue noise? Welcome to Sooki Sooki ASMR. Cedric's been turned into glue.
Ew, it's kind of gross.
So yeah, he's dead. He's done.
That was the week.
Can you say and that was the week?
And that was the week.
Can you say and that wraps up the week?
And that wraps up the week.
And can you say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Can you say anti-disestablishmentarianism?
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Can you say Google Doogleplex?
Google Doogleplex.
Yeah, that does it for the week.
Should we cut the video?
Hey, first of all, I want to say, hell yeah, we got through the discussion so smoothly. Hell yeah. So next up, we're going to be going into the multiverse.
Ooh.
We're getting Doctor Strange up in this bitch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Hey, girl, you're a Marvel, and I'm serving Doctor Strange. So this next segment that we're going to be doing is we're going to be discussing some of the most timeline warping events that's happened this season.
Yeah.
And we're going to be discussing some alternate timelines that could have possibly occurred had these things not happened.
Ooh, alternate reality.
Ooh, everything, everywhere, all at once.
Okay. Let's get to it, man.
Yeah. You want to go for the first one?
So the very first one, and this is kind of like a meh, this is just like a light appetizer. It's finger food. It's a little appetizer, light like ballet. The first timeline altering event we picked was Matt threatening Angela.
And this kind of set off a chain of events that would completely alter like our original perceptions of all the house guests.
I would argue this move is the reason he went home.
I mean, there's nothing to argue about. It is the reason he went home.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't even being considered as a nominee for the block. Or he was being considered, but she didn't nominate him.
Yeah, and plus Angela was trying to squash things with him.
Yeah. And because of this, I mean, had Matt stayed in the house, Leah, the Throwmance would still be alive. The barber shop could have been a very strong alliance.
Yeah, also Tucker wouldn't be doing as much as he is doing now, because I think Matt was kind of like keeping the lid on that guy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's such a good point. Tucker is totally the type of guy who's only alpha when he is the tallest man in the room.
He's the only alpha left.
Yeah, exactly. When he's around a bunch of fucking betas and women.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he can start getting his shit.
Matt was like the tallest hottie,
Yeah.
He could have been something.
Yeah.
He could have been something.
He definitely could have been something, but lo and behold, he fucks up. And it was a pretty big fuck up. I'm not going to go ahead and say that this was an innocuous event. He made a big mistake, and he
yeah.
went home, and as a result, the power completely shifted on a dime the very next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was our first reality warping event. Should we discuss some alternate things that could have happened? I mean, the throwmance in the barbershop.
Yeah, I feel like we covered as much as we can on this one. It's hard to really know because it was so early in the game.
Do you think Matt staying would have prevented the formation of the Pentagon, or do you think he would have been invited to be a part of the Pentagon?
It's possible he could have been invited because he already kind of had a tight bond with the other haughty dudes in the house, like Cam and Tucker.
Yeah. But Tucker's not in the Pentagon.
I know, but Cam is, and I think Cam probably would have brought him in.
So, I mean, it stands to reason if Matt stayed in the house, he would have been probably one of the most slutted out people.
Yeah.
Because he probably would have been invited to the Pentagon. He probably would have been invited to the Andersons.
Yeah.
Probably not the Visionaries.
No.
Certainly the ball players.
Yeah, definitely the ball players.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think him, Leah, and Mackenzie, they could have been like a very great trio. Leah's very smart. Mackenzie and Matt are obviously, well, we don't really know because we didn't get to see Matt, but based on appearances, he looked like he would have done well.
Based on appearances, he looked like he would have done well. However, his statistics stand at a 0% win rate.
That's not his fault. Well, it is his fault. It is his fault. Yeah.
Okay, that was cool. I mean, that was our first time warping event. Ooh. So our next reality warping event is when Tucker used the veto on Angela instead of himself and completely blew up on Cedric. Yeah.
That may have been one of his, that may have been a move that saved his game, ultimately. It blew up his game and also saved it because the second he became a target and blew up on Cedric, he also gained a number in Angela. Like, he was never 100% alone.
Yeah.
Because he always had her as an ally after this point.
And with how the events shook out, oh boy, the timing couldn't have been more perfect.
Not that, I don't know, because Quinn still had his deep fake HOH, but the timing of her winning HOH was great because that's one less person that they now have to worry about getting put up on the block.
And it just basically completely separated the house. That was a moment that really separated the house, you know?
Yeah.
It started, I think this was when ideas started being planted in people who weren't perfectly aligned or who didn't feel like they had solid backing, that it was time to start, forming some shit of their own.
Taking shots at the power in the house. Yeah.
And it also became very apparent who was on whose side,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it really was like a moment of clarity for the house. This is what's happening. These people know about this and I don't. Mm-hmm. And so it really kind of created factions more so than before because all the factions were kind of muddled before,
Yeah. And I think it probably secretly rubbed some people the wrong way that Quinn was just so yeah, I'm fine. I feel like I'm still solid.
He was very cavalier about the whole situation, you know? And it's like Rome. It's like Rome. You start feeling we're indestructible. Boom.
Et tu brute. Stab.
Yeah, stab.
Stab.
Yeah. And let's discuss some of the things that might have happened had this not happened. Well, Cedric and Tucker would have still been on good terms.
Yeah, had Tucker have taken himself off, and it was just Angela, Kenny, and whoever America was going to vote for.
Quinn. Oh, yeah. I guess it would.
Well,
it would have completely changed America's vote, first of all.
Yeah, because who would you think he would have still put up Mackenzie? Or Leah? Possibly could have put up Leah. Either way, Angela probably would have gotten home.
I think he would have put up Mackenzie still.
Yeah, and then she would have probably... I actually think that had he put up Mackenzie next to Angela and Kenny, she probably wouldn't have used her power.
She wouldn't have used her power.
And she maybe could have gone home.
Yeah, I completely agree. She could have gone home, but more likely than not, Angela would have gone home.
Yeah,
Angela would not have won the HOH next week. Quinn probably wouldn't have had to use his power.
Deep fake power, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Cedric would still be here.
And Cedric would still be here.
Oh my God. Crazy.
Yeah. So that was pretty crazy. And everything would have still been very muddled had this not happened. Everyone would still be thinking that they're working with each other.
Yeah.
The collective would have probably grown to be how many people were left in the house? 12?
Yeah, it would have been the entire house.
Yeah, it would have grown to be the entire house.
Yeah. It would have been. Cedric would still be here had Tucker used the veto on himself.
Yeah, and Tucker wouldn't have become a big threat, you know?
I think he would still be somewhat of a target based on his comp wins.
Yeah.
But
people wouldn't have thought he was so volatile.
yeah, people would still be willing to work with him, although he did a good job of saving his game in this last week.
Yeah, he really did. So that is our second reality warping event.
For our third and final timeline changing event, we picked Cedric volunteering himself to go on the block.
And we covered it already, but boy, was that a bad move.
It's been said before on Big Brother that pawns do go home.
Yeah.
And they did go home.
But it was just, I think it was with the added context that everyone in this house is a savage, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone in this house has balls of steel. They all are thinking clearly, at least for the most part.
Everyone's willing to get blood on their hands, finally.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's willing to make the hard choices that have to be made. And I think because it seems like this is a healthier season of Big Brother where there is like genuine love there and people are just like, we're just here to play Big Brother.
Yeah.
That's why everybody was freaking sobbing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to make that choice, but they knew that they had to.
They all made the hard choice, and it was a beautiful thing to see. But I think this might have been the most timeline warping event.
He freaking Ned Starked himself.
He did Ned Stark himself. He did.
He Ned Starked himself.
He let his male pride get in the way.
I will nip in the knee.
Oh my God, that's such a good comparison.
He's the Ned Stark.
Yeah.
He's about to fucking be the domino effect of the fucking war that is about to ensue.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Hey, Game of Thrones draft? Game of Thrones draft in the future? Let's go.
Yeah. What the fuck? Why haven't we done Game of Thrones yet?
I know. Game of Thrones would be a good one. But like I was saying, I think this might have been the most timeline shifting event because it took the Pentagon from a place of power to a place of jeopardy.
I saw a little bit of a spoiler. You can cut this out, but I just feel like I have to tell you this because it just indicates that the upcoming week is going to be insane. Mm-hmm. I saw kind of a spoiler about the HOH that the last two people standing on the wall are Quinn and Tucker.
Oh.
So it's really like whoever
no, we can't include that.
No, you can't include that, but I just wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you because, like, if that is true, that
they're the last two, war. It's about
to be fucking war because they're both like neither of us can let go.
And maybe some backs will be stabbed.
Maybe some deals will be made.
Fuck it, let's keep that in, dude. We don't give a fuck about you. We don't give a hey, fuck you.
Hey, you owe us $52.
It's 52 now because of interest. Okay, we've given you like 4 weeks to pay us, and none of you guys. It's shocking. None of you guys have sent. Like, hit the fucking PayPal, homie. Give us our money. We need to buy stuff.
I farted.
Our house is breaking apart. Our doorknobs are stuck. I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen to doorknobs, is that they stop turning. I have to close my door with a fucking computer chair.
Yeah, our house literally is falling apart.
Give us our $52. You got it like that. You're rich. You must be rich to be watching YouTube videos in the middle of the day. Get a job. Oh.
Somebody in the comments is going to be like, she's disassociating. Yeah, had he not volunteered himself up, it would have been Tucker, Rubina, Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Tucker wins Leah probably is a replacement.
Yep.
No, because Quinn thinks that him and Leah are good because he's got a crush on her.
So I think maybe Quinn at that point would have tried to ask Cedric to be the pawn anyway.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of who else he would have put up outside of Cedric.
I think it was Cedric. It was
always going to be Cedric.
It was always going to be Cedric. So while this was a very reality warping event, I think no matter what, he was going to get his ass up on the block just because he's a nice kid.
Yeah. I don't see a world in which he does stay.
No, I think
Unless he won a competition that saved himself, I don't see a world in which he stays.
Well, so he wouldn't have been in the veto competition. It would have been Tucker, Rubina, and Mackenzie. Tucker would have won. So now it's Cedric, Rubina, Mackenzie. It's the exact same. Yeah, I think he was dead.
I'm really trying to think. I just don't know.
Because the events would have unfolded the same way because the nominees are the same.
Are the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was dead either way.
I thought Leah would be an alternative because she at this point had we don't see this, but on the live feeds she's talking shit about Quinn. So I think if that ever gets back to Quinn, there's a possibility where she is a replacement nominee, but I don't really know because Quinn is just too
attracted to her.
Yeah, he's like, I'll never.
He's pussy whipped.
Yeah. He is pussy whipped.
But let's just talk about it for a second. Let's say Leah does go up. Then it's Leah, Mackenzie,
Rubina.
Mackenzie would have won.
Yeah, no way.
It would have been Rubina or Mackenzie.
I don't know. It could have been Leah. Leah's a smart player.
But that was more a finesse game than brains.
Yeah, but we don't know. We've not really seen her compete in anything.
Right.
And she did kind of make it kind of far in that one true-false competition.
Yeah, but that was smarts game,
I think she had potential to win. I think between those three, Mackenzie has the best chance, but given how close Rubina was, I think it indicates it could have been anybody's game again.
Well, I think if it was Rubina and Leah left on the block, Leah would have gone home.
Yeah.
Rubina has more friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it was Leah Mackenzie on the block,
well, I don't know,
because
Cam would have probably pushed the collective / Pentagon to keep Leah because he likes her.
Yeah, but the collective was always going to vote for Rubina. Most of the collective, at least.
To keep her?
To keep Rubina, yeah.
None of them are aligned with her except for T-Core and Chemo.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's true. Yeah, maybe.
If it's Leah or Rubina, I think it's possibly a split vote or Rubina goes home.
Yeah. And if it's Mackenzie and Leah, then Mackenzie goes home.
Yeah.
And if it's Mackenzie and Rubina, then Mackenzie goes home.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, that is our final reality warping event. There's probably going to be another 4 next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
But stay tuned. Maybe we'll play it again later in the season. I like this segment. I think it's fun. I do too. It's always fun to explore what could have been,
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
What could have been.
Because we're not tethered to reality.
No.
We're doing a Big Brother podcast. We have no common sense.
We don't know what's real.
We live in the fairy utopia that is our brains.
Yeah. I like it there.
It's nice.
It's soft.
It's got air conditioning. All right, everybody. Hide your goddamn fucking butts, because it's game time.
Nice. It's game time.
Game time. Da 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 da.
Is that the basketball sound?
Yeah, it's the NBA.
Okay.
Bumper music.
First up, we're going to be drafting Big Brother alliances from Love Island contestants.
Woo!
For my first pick, I'm going to go with my girl Serena for Brain.
For Brain?
For Brain.
What about her as Brain?
She stands on business. She's a bad bitch.
You just like her.
So what? She could be brain.
I mean, she's not dumb.
She knows how to argue.
Yeah.
She knows how to slay an 8.
Okay.
I pick her.
That's an interesting pick.
What?
I just wouldn't describe her as a brain.
She's brain.
She's brain?
She's brain.
Okay, she's brain. I guess she's brain. All right. Well, you pick brain, so I don't have to do it. For my first pick, I am going to take Tommy Fury for comp.
Boo. He is canceled right now for whatever he probably did to Molly.
Hey, he's still a beefcake, okay? I do not stand by what he did to his the mother of his unborn child. Or is it already born?
It's been born for like a year.
Damn, the mother of his child. I don't stand by that. I think he's a fuckhead.
He really fumbled the bag.
However, that boy's got some arms on him.
Yeah.
He's got some arms on him, and they're gonna whatever comp you're not gonna want to go up against him. Also, he's like top heavy, so he's stable. Mm-hmm. You know, so he's gonna be able to, like, in the endurance comps where you have to stand on the ledge, he can just kind of squat down.
Yeah. And
just let his arms dangle like a gorilla. So that's my pick, because he's a meat boy. Mm-hmm. And for my second pick, I am going to go with Curtis.
God damn it. Okay.
For social.
Yeah. Really?
And, I mean, come on. If you watch Love Island Season 5 of the UK...
Everybody loves him.
Everybody loves him. And, you know, he's closeted, and I think that makes him fun. And he's a flamenco dancer or whatever. He
does all dancing.
Yeah.
I was going to pick him for pawn.
What?
Because I just feel like he'd be like, yeah, man, whatever, totally cool. Yeah. Put me up. Okay. Well, for my second pick, I'm going to pick my girl Moira for wild card.
Oh.
You never know what's going to come out of her mouth.
That's good, man.
I love her.
Her behavior wasn't really wild card, though.
No, but I feel like she's got that extra, like, oomph. Like, she just has something extra about her.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I would have taken her for social, to be honest.
I have somebody in mind for social.
Can you do an impression of Moira for the people?
I'm trying to think.
I got fanny flutters.
Are you joking? Are you joking? What did you just say? I don't know how to do her accent. For pawn, I'm going to go with Anton. I just feel like he would be.
No arguments here, man.
He would be.
He was one of my choices for sure.
Yeah.
For pawn.
Yeah.
Because he's a little man too, and pawns are the shortest pieces.
I just feel like he's just so desperate for love. Like, he'll do whatever he has to do to get liked.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
And like his mom has to shave his butthole. That's pawn behavior.
Yeah.
That's pawn behavior.
Mom, I have to cancel.
Shut up.
Okay, so you have done 3 so far? Mm-hmm. Okay. For my third pick, I'm going to go with Miguel from Love Island USA.
Damn it.
For wild card.
Oh, fuck. Miguel.
He is the most unexpected delight of that season. First of all, you didn't know where the fuck he was going to land, okay? This motherfucker was swinging his dick everywhere. He's like, oh, I like you, I like you, I like you. Actually,
dude,
I don't
when
like
he got
you.
to Casa Amor, he forgot Leah existed.
Yeah.
He was like, Ma, it's like they found out what I like and then brought him in here.
And printed him out of a printer.
They were like, this is for Miguel, and then they did it.
And I shook it, and I was like, oh my God.
I stand Miguel.
Yeah. And the most unexpected thing he did was he was actually like a sweet, loyal guy at the end.
Yeah, and the way that he still talks about her.
Yeah.
He's like, she's the best woman I've ever seen.
Bro, he is the most guy.
Maybe a leopard can change its spots.
So Miguel for wild card. For my fourth pick, I pick Danny Dyer from season 4 of Love Island UK. and she had a Cockney accent. She was all the girls' best friends, and she was just a good time. She was a chill gal. And her dad is a famous English actor who did he's like a criminal actor.
Yeah, he did like mob movies.
He's like a mobster actor. Yeah. And that's cool.
So he brings me like,
what are you doing? What is that?
That's everybody being excited about her because her dad's famous.
All right, well, that was my fourth pick is Danny Dyer.
All right. For my fourth pick, oh God. Sorry, I'm making myself laugh. I'd be making myself laugh a lot. Okay.
As you should.
For my fourth pick for social, I'm gonna go with my girl Janae. Okay. She does a lot. She does the most. She's everybody's best friend. Kenny.
I wanted to take her, but
No.
I didn't want to take everybody from Love Island USA season 6.
No, literally everybody I picked is basically Love Island season 6, except for my pawn and my wild card. Yeah, I think Janae would be great for social. She's going to be everybody's best friend.
Yeah.
She's going to calm everybody down. She's also going to be the peacemaker in the house. She's going to make everybody eggs every morning. She'll be like, well, you're hungry, so you should have eggs.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be one of those gals who's going to skate by on likability in the house.
Yeah,
you know?
she's probably going to win America's favorite player, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And she deserves it.
She does.
Take that $50,000 and buy some new eyebrows, Janae.
Janae, if you're watching, I love you. I love you forever. I stand you. PPG on top. For my fifth and final pick, and this is comps, I'm going to pick my boy Cordell. If you've seen that man swing on a pole in Love Island Season 6, you know he's got some secret strength. I also think he's going to do well in the endurance comps because he's little.
He's a little man.
He's got a low center of gravity.
You're no man with no legs.
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll do very well in the comps.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
And I agree. And what is my final category? I've done social, comps.
Did you?
I don't have a
you
brain.
You didn't do brain.
I don't have a brain.
You don't have a brain.
I don't have a brain, no.
Do your brain, man.
All right, I need a brain. I need a brain.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. Put a sound effect there.
Okay. For my fifth and final pick, I'm going to choose Kendall from Love Island Season 6.
Boo-yay.
As my brain.
Boo-yay. We can't really shit on him anymore.
Shame him all you want. Say what you want about him. He knew how to play people. He knew how to worm his little way out of every situation. He's the Drake of the house, man.
He is the Drake of the house.
He's the BBL Kenny.
Although, is America going to suddenly be on his side after we find out at the reunion that him and Nicole are no more? I don't know. Tune in Monday at 6 Pacific time. Peacock.
It was kind of like he was engaged in the Kendrick-Drake beef, but Kendrick was all of America.
Yeah, no. We were not fucking with Kendall. We still don't fuck with Kendall, but everybody does feel a little bit bad for him because of the stuff that's followed.
Hey, remember, it's never good to air out people's dirty laundry like that. All right? All right?
Okay, so for brain, I've got Serena. For social, I've got Janae. For comps, I've got Cordell. For pawn, I've got Anton. And for wild card, I've got the one and only Moira Higgins.
I think your player is going to have a difficult time lying to people. A lot of honest motherfuckers.
Yeah, I should have picked a Kendall type, but too bad. Too bad I didn't.
Well, I got a very duplicitous motherfucker because not only is my player lying to everybody else, he's also lying to himself about his sexuality.
Oh, you're talking about Curtis?
Yeah.
No, Curtis has openly been like, I'm all of it. I like it all.
Oh, good. Hey, happy for you, Kurt.
This happened a while ago.
That's good. That's good. So for brain, I have Kendall. For comps, I have Tommy Fury. For social, I got Danny Dyer. For pawn, I have Curtis. And for wild card, I have Miguel.
Miguel.
La, 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 la.
I love you, Miguel.
That was fun. All right, that does it for our Love Island draft.
Woo!
Woohoo! And next up, Adouria is going to be guessing the Love Island contestant based on classical paintings.
Oh my god. I don't know art. This is going to be hard.
You don't have to know art. You don't have to know art.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell Adouria, I'm going to show Adouria a bunch of paintings, and I'm going to tell her the name of the painting, and she's going to try to guess what Love Island guest, what Big Brother house guest is associated with the painting. All right, here we go. First up, we have The Last Supper.
Oh my god. This could be about anybody. Is it about somebody that you're thinking about recently?
I can't give hints.
Is this about Cedric because he just went home?
Nope.
Oh my god, The Last Supper. This is a painting about backstabbing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Christian girl.
I know. Is it about? Can I have a hint?
It's not about Jesus. It's about someone else involved in the painting.
Oh, it's about Judas. Is this about Dan?
Yes.
Because Jerry kept calling him Judas.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
you got it.
Okay, that hint was too helpful.
Yeah. Good job.
Okay.
All right, no more lobs for you.
Please. Ew.
All right. The second one is called The Blonde Lady.
Is this about Angela?
And
It's probably about another blonde person. Is it about Lisa? Because she's kind of ugly.
no.
Or, no?
No.
Have a hint.
No. You got one guess left.
Oh my god. The blonde lady. What the fuck? There's so many blondes. This is so like not specific. At least The Last Supper is specific. It's about betrayal. Is this about Nicole?
Nope.
Who's it about?
This is about Janelle.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, next up we have The Thin Woman.
Gonna guess. Is it Danielle? Danielle was skinny.
Donato?
Yeah.
There
Nice.
you go.
I got one.
You've gotten two, actually. All right, next up we have The Police Officer and The Runaway.
There's only really two police officers. Is this about Kenny? Because Kenny is both the police officer and the runaway in
Nope.
his brain. Okay, is this about Derek?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty easy. All right. This painting is called The Gardener.
Oh, is it about Donnie? Because Donnie was a groundskeeper.
Yeah! Dude, you're crushing it.
Just the blonde lady I didn't get.
Yeah. And finally, we have, I don't know what this is called, but let's just call it A Day in Vegas.
Is it about Vanessa? Because there's a lady on it.
Nope.
Is it about Joseph?
Nope.
Oh my god. Oh, A Day in Vegas. Duh. Is it about Rachel?
Nope.
What the fuck? Who is it?
It's about Davon.
Okay, that was my next guess, but I
Yeah.
didn't have one. 4 out of 6 is not bad.
4 out of 6 isn't bad. I think I'm going to amp up the difficulty on you next time.
Yeah, this was a little easy. Next up, Tian's going to be putting Big Brother costumes in a tier list.
All right, let's go. I'm excited for this.
Okay, first up, we got this one.
This is Jen in her onesie, right?
And her in the red unitard that normally people are embarrassed to wear the unitards.
Yeah.
She was excited because she
Is a
thought,
kook.
She thought she ate in it. She was like, I'm so slay.
She low-key did.
She did slay.
Yeah.
She always slay.
She slays nonstop. Jen, you need to take a break from slaying sometimes. Rest and recuperation is a part of slaying. I'll give this a C. It's not like exciting, and it didn't cause any harm on the contestant. So I'll give it a C.
Okay. Next up, we've got Janelle's superstar unitard.
Oh, this one's much better because Janelle is not a fun character.
What are you talking about?
She's not a fun lady. She's just all action and all motor fuel and just she has programming commands.
I feel like it's probably stressful to be her kid. Like, and she's at like a soccer match, like, yeah, just fucking like,
you must dominate. I'll give this one.
There's no losers in this family.
Yeah, you're a Perzina. I'll give this an A. I think the gold star for Janelle.
Gold star for the gold star.
Gold star for the gold star.
Okay, next one. This is from a season that you've not seen, so I'll give you the context. This is Derek.
This is racist.
No. This costume's called Lord of the Latrine.
Oh, okay.
So he had to dress up. This was a punishment. He had to dress up in this old-fashioned outfit, and he had a key to the only public bathroom in the house. And anytime somebody had to go to the bathroom, he had to announce it, unlock it, and let them in, and then wait for them to finish. So it was an awful punishment. Can you imagine how many times he had to do that?
And it's racist.
And it was for several days. Why is it racist?
I don't know. It's just because it's an Asian guy. It's racist automatically.
But this is like an English costume.
Any Asian guy in anything outside of a t-shirt or a collared shirt is racist. I just want you guys to know that. Don't make us dress up.
Lord of the Latrine.
Lord of the Latrine. This is a solid one. I don't have a personal attachment to this player or to this season, so I'll give it a B. But I do like the idea of it causing harm on this young Asian fella.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that it made him do stuff.
You're a freak.
I love it.
Next up is the Adam and Eve
S.
costume
This is an S.
that Caleb and Victoria were forced to wear. They had to be linked to each other.
Easy S.
Yeah, this was a slay.
Beast Mode Cowboy was suffering. She was suffering.
She was kind of slaying also.
Yeah, she was eving. She was eving, and he was certainly Adaming.
Yeah. Okay.
And I love a good Christian costume.
You do.
Yeah. So S.
Okay. For the fifth and final one, it's Enzo in the penguin suit. It's the meow meow in the quack quack. What sounds do penguins make? Wah.
That's right.
It's the meow meow and the wah wah.
Oh man, how funny you were almost swayed me, but this is a D.
What? No.
This is a D.
He's iconic.
It's funny, but it's like there's no judge to it. You know, he just had to wear a fucking costume. That's it. There's no additional like, oh god.
All right. And that's been blind tier these costumes.
And I think that's the end of the episode.
Woo! See you losers next week.
Only if you pay us $52 first.
Yeah, don't forget about $52.
Give us 52, or next week it's going to be $52.39.
And we'll beat you up.